Hello Barley Close and welcome to our assembly today on changes. Now changes are normal, we have lots of changes. Sometimes it's a small change like changing our socks or our bedding. Sometimes it's a bigger change like moving schools, moving house or starting in a new class. Starting in a new class is something that lots of us will be doing in September. So I thought I'd share a story with you today about some children who've all started in different schools. So this is Ben, and it's his first day in his new school. He knows some of the children in his new class because they were in his playgroup, but there'll be lots of children he's never met before as well. In Ben's new classroom there's a train track, computers and a big water tray. He's really looking forward to playing with everything, but he's worried about staying to dinner for the first time and getting used to all the new people. Ben finds a peg with his name on and hangs up his coat, but everything looks strange and new to him. He holds very tightly onto his special tiny bear that he's bought in his pocket. Ben's tummy's going up and down and he decides he wants his mum to stay with him today. How do you think Ben's feeling? Maybe you could write down some of the good feelings about a change for Ben, but also some of the ones that make us feel a bit more uncomfortable. This is Ben at the end of his first day at school. Although school was bigger with lots more children and different things to do, he could still play with the things he had at play school. He made a new friend and they both played at the water train with the computer and helped build a bus outside with the large bricks. He also listened to an exciting story and played a counting game. Ben was so busy he almost forgot about his special tiny bear. The next day his mum stayed in the classroom for a while, but soon he sent her off for a cup of tea, and after a few more days he told his mum that he was leaving his bears at home. Bears are scared of school, he said, but I'm not. Isn't that nice that Ben had a lovely day in school and he enjoyed himself? It's okay to feel worried and nervous, but Ben found that it was okay in the end. Now, this is a picture here of Rashid. Rashid has a very big family, but he's lucky enough to have his own small bedroom. Rashid often goes to his own room to get peace and quiet when he wants to read or go on his computer. One night, Mum tells Rashid that she's some very special news. Rashid's cousin's coming from India to stay with them for a long visit. Mum's going to squeeze another bed into Rashid's bedroom and the two boys will share. I hope you'll be very kind to Daljit, said Mum. This is a big change for him coming over to England for the first time to meet a family he's never met before. I hope you two will have fun together. That night, Rashid lies awake. He thinks about the cousin he's never met. He wonders if they'll like each other. He thinks about having to share a room with a stranger. He wonders where he will go when he wants some peace and whether Daljit will always be wanting to go on the computer. Then Rashid thinks that maybe he and Daljit will have fun together as Mum hopes. He lies awake for a long time, staring into the dark. How do you think Rashid is feeling? How do you think Daljit's feeling, moving to a new country, a new language possibly, with new family that he's never met? This is a picture when Daljit first arrived. Rashid found it very difficult to share his room. Daljit was homesick and hardly spoke for the first 2 weeks. When he saw how unhappy Daljit was, Rashid tried to cheer him up. He even encouraged Daljit to go on his computer and helped him to learn English, while Daljit helped Rashid to improve his Urdu. Gradually, the two boys got used to each other and became good friends. Daljit is soon going back to India and Rashid is going with him for a long visit. In this story, we have a picture of Lucy. Now, Lucy's really looking forward to going back to school after her summer holiday. She's bought some brilliant presents, but she can't wait to give them to her friends Esme and Minnie. She sees them across the playground and smiles and waves to them, but they take no notice of her. They turn their backs and walk off with some of the girls. It seems to Lucy they're giggling about her. Lucy doesn't understand what has happened. She goes and sits by herself on one of the benches. She looks around at the other children who are all in pairs or groups. She's never felt so alone. Gemma sees Lucy sitting by herself. Gemma was a new girl in the school last term and she just knows how Lucy is feeling. She goes over to her and says, "Why don't you come over with us?" Lucy is really grateful to Gemma and goes with her, but she feels so upset by Esme and Minnie that her feelings are all in a muddle. How do you think Lucy and Gemma are feeling now? Maybe you could have a little think before we read the next part of the story. After a few days, Lucy made friends with Esme and Minnie, but she never really understood why they made her feel so left out. Gemma is Lucy's best friend now. Lucy will never forget how kind Gemma was to her when she was lonely and unhappy. I want you now to sit quietly and think about Ben, Rashid, Daljit or Lucy. All of them went through changes. All of them felt nervous about the changes that they were going to experience, but they all turned out to be okay in the end. It's okay to feel nervous about a change. Those nerves are good nerves if you channel them in the right way. Think about the positive things, though, that those changes will bring to you. Focus on the positives, share your worries with your friends and your family, and together we can all work together to make sure the changes we have to experience become positive.
Ta-da!
That was perfect.